Keelan, and today I want to talk about the issues of sugar addiction and ways that we can combat the issue. American sugar intake is an issue. This is American children. Clearly, we are overindulging in our sugar intake, and with the American Heart Association claiming that the average adult consumes about 17 teaspoons worth of sugar, that's more than 2 to 3 times the amount recommended, adults are not on a better track daily. With obesity, health problems, and addictive natures on a rise, sugar intake is a highly addictive substance that needs to be stopped. Today, I want to talk about this issue at hand and some ways that we can combat this through a couple of solutions. So, sugar is a huge problem because it is an addictive substance. Pace Recovery Center and the National Library of Medicine found addictive qualities in this substance. For example, the National Library of Medicine found addictive chemicals producing from sugar such as dopamines and opioids. This is the same chemicals released when intaking hardcore drugs. For example, the American Addiction Centers make this very clear when saying that heroin produces synthetic opioids and dopamine. These are the same exact chemicals produced when intaking sugars. The Pace Recovery Center claims that researchers from Connecticut College found that Oreos activate more neurons in the pleasure department in a rat's brain than cocaine. As you can see from Boston University's Lab of Addiction, a human and a rat's brain are very similar. This allows accurate drug research. Furthermore, the National Library of Medicine claims that the intense sweetness of sugar surpasses cocaine reward. There's clear evidence suggesting that sugar has addictive natures like demoted drugs. However, the issue is encouraged by social acceptance. The Pace Recovery Center explains that Oreos, the same exact food that releases more pleasure neurons than cocaine, are more socially accepted than having excessive alcohol use or intaking hardcore drugs, although they are more prevalent and available. Furthermore, the Rutgers University Center of Alcohol and Substance Use Studies has an article that claims that the World Health Organization suggests that the average person have about 25 grams of sugar per day, while a single can of Coke has 44 grams. But the article continues by saying that this overconsumption is not entirely our fault. With supermarkets filled of these sugary snacks, the issue has become an epidemic. Now that we know sugar is a problem, I want to talk about a couple of solutions. People need to understand and follow sugar recommendations. Many do not know, but need to understand the difference between refined and natural sugars. The MD Anderson Cancer Center explains the difference through dietitian Lindsay Holford. She explains that refined sugars are added sugars, not natural coming from the food. She explains that refined sugars cause rapid blood sugar spikes and drops that lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, and diabetes. Understanding what sugar is, like what the difference is between natural and refined sugars, allows us to take steps towards a better diet. For example, we can find alternatives to these sugary-filled foods by making simple changes such as one snack to a healthier snack. The American Heart Association suggests comparing and choosing products and choosing the ones with the least amount of added sugars. Buying canned, fresh, frozen, or dried fruits without being saturated in syrups and other sugary-filled things like most companies do will help your diet. Easy changes to even your recipes will allow less sugar craves and intake. While the American Heart Association says completely replace it, such as enhancing your foods with more spices than sugars, like using nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, or ginger instead of sugar in your recipes. Furthermore, the foundation says to replace sugar with unsweetened applesauce. Just take any recipe and use unsweetened applesauce as the recipe calls for sugar, and the taste is virtually the same. if not the same completely. There are so many easy and beneficial swaps that you can make to your diet to decrease your sugar cravings and intake. So let's review the problem at hand and how we can combat it. With sugar being encouraged, the sugar issue is on a rise. There's clear evidence that sugar has addicting qualities, such like cocaine and heroin. But the issue is in each of our lives. With this being our children and this being our adults, sugar intake is clearly an issue in each and every one of our lives. Whether it be directly or indirectly with a friend or family member, it is an issue that together we can make a smaller and smaller one, globally and nationally. So next time when you get that sugary craving and you're debating what to snack on, think about what you're about to feed into. Choose that strawberry instead of that addicting treat. Thank you.
Awesome.
This is my audience.
I want the donut.
Donut sounds
Hey, I was paying attention.